In solo leveling, after the S-rank hunters successfully invaded Jeju Island and slayed the Queen of the Ants, everything is supposed to be over. However, of course, things can't go that easily, as a long black soldier ant enters the Queen's chamber and unleashes a power that makes the entire mountain shake. Cha falls to her knees, barely able to breathe because of the stench, since of course the stronger someone is, the worse they smell to her, letting her know everything she needs to about just how terrifying the Ant King is, as he continues into the room walking towards his mother, and Mr. Ma has to contain his fear from completely taking over, because just this thing's aura alone is enough to make him feel like half of his body is going to just disintegrate away if this thing decides to attack. Eventually, it makes its way to the Queen's side, standing in silence for a moment before roaring once again, but this roar was different. It wasn't nearly as loud, but somehow it was even more powerful, being enough to drop everyone to their knees. Everyone except Cha. At that instant, the Ant King dashes behind her at full speed, sending her flying with a punch that looks like it probably broke her arm and a few ribs as she bounces against the wall in pain, and Mr. Ma screams out her name. As he screams, the Ant King speeds directly in front of him and punches the shield that he's holding so hard that it destroys Mr. Ma's arm all the way up to the elbow as he tries to cut this ant in half, but quickly loses a second arm as well. It's no use. One by one, all of our hunters try to fight back against the Ant King, who just easily walks through all of them and slashes them apart, making these S-ranks look like a bunch of E's, until eventually Min Byung-gyu, the healer, has to bring everyone back to full power using his spell book. Now, this is extremely useful, and really the only reason they have any hope here, as they can rely on this healing to help them get a few extra tries to take this thing down and learn his movements. However, since Min Byung-gyu can't move when he's casting his healing arts, this actually proves to be a massive weakness, because despite the fact that Min thinks he's invisible, the Ant King is very much able to pick up on what's happening here, and like with Team Japan, decides to take out Team Korea's healer first, as we see everyone screaming in horror as Min Byung-gyu is impaled by the Ant King's arm as it holds it up in the air in front of his friends. If this wasn't bad enough, what has to be one of the most savage moments in all of solo leveling, and still to this day one of the fandom's favorite moments of all time, finally arrives, as to everyone's horror, Min Byung-gyu tries to tell them all to run and gets his head eaten in one bite by the Ant King. This is awesome, because right then the Ant King is given access to all of S-Rank's memories and strength, allowing it to immediately learn English and begin to communicate with the hunters, asking them where their king is so that it could bring this battle to a close. And luckily for everyone in the room, it's at this point where the Ant King senses a strong presence outside of the chamber and decides to head after it, because if not, I think every S-Rank here would have died. So next, let's discuss what the Ant ended up finding.